Hey guys, it's Bat Stuffy time, and again, I have no idea what I've already recorded a video for and what I haven't. This is the 5x7 Cutie Vamp Bat Stuffy. It's done in 2 parts. Okay, this is the 5x7. I know this hoop's way bigger, but my 5x7 hoops are all busy right now, so on that. I will have in the PDF instructions the how-to, the exact measurements of everything. But for the Bat Stuffy, you need to do the wings first. And we're going to start by hooping. And by the way, these are going to be non-turn wings. You're going to hoop your stabilizer. I recommend medium weight cutaway. And you're going to run the die line. And then we'll be back for vinyl placement in just a minute. Okay, so here we are. We have done the die line for the bat wings for the 5x7 Stuffy. And then one of the great things about doing 5 different sizes of the same pattern over and over again is you get to play with all the different cool materials you've got laying around. So I'm going to use this crinkly black vinyl for the 5x7 wings. These wings have applique insets, so we're going to put down our base vinyl first. Then we're going to run the die line for just one wing. And then we'll place the applique, we'll trim it, then we'll do the other wing, then we'll do the back tack, and all good. Okay, there we are. And I don't know if you can see, there you go. There's the applique outline, and I'm going to line up this little piece of vinyl like so. And then I am going to put a little piece of tape right here and right down here to keep it in place. Now I'm going to run a zigzag so that I can trim it out. So there we are, bat wing number 1's applique inset. And we're gonna take this little piece of tape up, and we're gonna take this little piece of tape up because we're gonna use it here in a second. And we are going to carefully applique cut around that zigzag. Now remember, you want to get as close to that zigzag as you humanly possibly can. And the thing that's really gonna help you out is using the right tool. I love my duckbill applique scissors because they let me get right up in there. Ta-ta. Remember, put the paddle right up against those stitches, right up against it. It may feel like you're gonna snip those stitches. It's gonna be really hard to because the slant of that blade forces you down and away from your stitches. But if you do, remember it's a zigzag. It's also got a bean underneath it, so you're not going to do too much damage. So there we go. We're trimmed out for that wing. We're going to put it back in the machine, and we're going to do the applique position for the other wing. Okay, guys, here's our applique position for our second wing. We're just going to take and, like we did the first time, lay this little piece of vinyl right over the whole thing. Make sure you're covering it well. And then tape it down a little bit, throw it in, and do your zigzag. Back for a trim out in a minute. Super quick that is. All right, here we are. Yay. We're gonna take our tape up. We're gonna take our duckbill applique scissors again, and we are gonna trim this little guy out. Hello, my little bat wings. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna come up. There we go. And then come over here. Ooh, make sure I'm still in frame. Now, as soon as we get this trimmed out, we're gonna put it back in the machine, and it is going to run some detail stitches on the inside of the wing and then satin all the way around the wing. Bleh. And then after it's done those detail stitches, we will be back and attach the back. Ooh, pretty. There we are. All we're gonna do is flip this bad boy over because these are no-turn wings. Yeah. And we are gonna put a little piece of tape there. And we're gonna put a little piece of tape here. And we are gonna run the tack together stitch. And then we'll come out and trim these bad boys up. I told you that was gonna be super fast, super quick. So, all we have to do now is unhoop this bad boy, just like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead, since I prefer not having all of this to have to turn and cut. Cut it down a little bit so that I'm only trimming out the wings and I'm not wrestling with all of this extra blarg, making my life difficult. Arg. There we go. And grab my little scissors, and we want to be about 1/8 of an inch away from our stitch line. And because it's black on black, it is going to be so hard to see, but I am going to try to keep it at a decent angle for you and a decent angle for me so we can all see what is going on. Remember, you turn your project, not your scissors. You want to make smooth cuts all the way around. And bada bing, bada boom, all done. I'm not gonna cut the other one on camera because that's just wasting your time when you've got better things to do. Now, you wanna grab another piece of cutaway and hoop it up. And we are going to do the bat body, boom, 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 boom. And you are going to run color stop 1 to give you the die line for whatever material you're gonna use. Let me advise that you do not use vinyl for the bat body. I'm gonna use felt because that's what I have a whole bunch of. And then you are going to, we'll run the die line, color stop 1, and then we will be back to talk about what is details and what is work. Back in a second. Okie dokie pokies, there is our bat die line. That's all you needed to do. Now all you have to do is take your, and this is about a piece, this is 6 by 12, but it looks like you only really need 6 by 8. So we're gonna float that on there. And then we are going to run color stops 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll be back for color stop 6. Hey, looky there, we've got our bat body most of the way done. It is time to do some wings. And you are going to do the left wing first. So let's grab my little left wing. And now, see these little placement lines right here? Can you see? Can you see them? There you go. You want to place this, you want to put your wing face down into the body of the bat, and you want those placement lines to line up mostly with the top and the bottom of your wing. And you want, if you draw a line-ish from this satin, you want it to line up the same arc right there. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm gonna get my head way on down here. And I'm gonna make sure that my bat wing is between the top and the bottom die line and that my arc is following the wing, just like that. Now, because I don't want my wing coming up, I am going to tape him down right there. And larger piece of tape, right there. And I'm gonna put him in the machine and he's gonna tack this wing down. And then to keep your needle head from traveling right across all of this, it's gonna do a little stitch over here and then it's gonna position here, and we'll come back and do this wing in just a minute. Oh, and there we go. There is bat wing 1 all tacked down. I'm gonna pull this piece of tape up and I'm gonna do the same thing. Ooh, I have tape on the back of my wing. How'd that happen? I'm gonna put the wing face down, pretty side down. And I am going to line it up so that the top and the bottom of the wing, are between those 2 die lines right there. All right, nice and even. And my arc is right in line. There we go. I'm gonna put a little piece of tape here to hold him in place, and a little piece of tape here to hold him in place. And I'm gonna tack that wing down, and we'll be back to put the back on the front. And then I'll show you how to trim, turn, and then stuff and close, mostly. I don't know that you wanna watch all of that. Ooh, that's gonna, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. There we go. All right, back in a second, guys. And there's our bat. Okay, so we're gonna take this tape up because we're not gonna need it. And we're gonna take this tape up because we're not gonna need it. And then we are going to take the other piece of black vinyl that we have, and we are going to lay it over this piece of, not black vinyl, black felt. And if you're feeling paranoid, you can go ahead and do a little bit of holdy-downy with some tape, but you don't have to. We're gonna put it in the machine and run color stop. 8. Color stop 8. We are not gonna run color stop 9. 9 is a dead stop to keep your needle head from going right over the center of this. As soon as color stop 8 is done, we'll come back, we'll trim, we'll turn, we'll stuff, we'll stitch. We're good. Okie dokie pokies, here we are. We have got our bat all the way sewn out. So I'm gonna pull up this tape because we don't need it anymore. And I am going to unhoop the whole thing. How much of it? The whole thing. There you go. And now I'm gonna come and, I'm gonna get rid of all kinds of this bleh, because I don't like having to wrestle this much material and stabilizer and stuff as I'm cutting. There, way better. Now, the one thing about stuffies you need to remember is you need to leave yourself a turny tab at the opening, right there, so that you have something to grab onto and stitch when you go to close this. Now we want to cut about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch away from our tack together. Just like with any other in the hoop, you move the project, not the scissors. Now we've got some very deep inny corners that we're gonna have to come back and put V's in so that when we turn this whole thing, they look nice and flat rather than all wrinkly and jaggy. So I am gonna pull this guy out of the way. And I'm gonna follow this arc. And I'm gonna follow that arc. There we go. Now, one of the things I also like to do is trim away that right there. Okay. Now I'm gonna come to the front. And that's a pokey innie. So we're gonna put a V right there. That's a pokey innie. Don't clip your bean stitch, but you do wanna get closer than you would be comfortable with for a regular seam. It's an ease. When you're turning, it eases the fabric. Okay. And there we go. All right, now for the fun part. We are going to reach our fingers in this hole and we are going to turn. Now, I think the key to this is going to be to try and grab a wing. Yeah, and get a wing out and out of the way to help give us some room for turning, just like that. Okay, now if you can get the other wing, yay. And we're gonna carefully work that wing out. This is turning by degrees, okay? A little bit here, a little bit there. I find that turning it in both hands helps. Now we're gonna push, pull, poke, prod, stick, shove. There we go. And this all sounds very, very violent, but you'll notice I'm being very careful because it would stink to get this far into it and then rip it in half. Ugh. And I am gonna have to come back with some sort of implement of destruction and do some pokey-outy bits. Pokey-outy on that ear. Okay. Pokey-outy on that ear. Okay. I'm gonna roll all of my seams. Roll all of my seams. There we go. Look, and where we did those little clip-ins, there's no wrinkles. All right, so he's, oop, I forgot a jump right here by his mouth. I should have done that before I put his back on, but oh well, there we go. Okay. Hey buddy, how you doing? All right, let's stuff some stuffing in you, shall we? And how much stuffing you stuff in your Stuffie is entirely up to you. It's about how much, it's about how poofy you want your Stuffie. Stuff. You want to make sure if he's got anything like his ears or his paws or anything like that, that you shove stuffing up in there so that he doesn't have sad, deflated ears. Get in there. Ooh, get in there. Okay, and some down in his body. And maybe down in that foot over there. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we go. Yeah, am I stuffed enough? I think I'm stuffed enough. Okay, so now I am going to lay that in, and then I'm going to fold this over so that it follows that little piece of stabilizer. That's why I made sure I arced it correctly. And then I'm going to take some pins and I am going to pin. I want his foot to poke out a little bit more than that. There we go. Yep. I'm going to pin closed. I say that, but I grabbed a crappy pen. There we go. And then I'm going to pin closed up here. And remember, this is my 5x7 bat. So, ouch, stabbed myself. So he was a little easier to turn and stuff than my 4x4 bat for sure. Now I need to go on the great quest for some black thread and a needle. Black thread. Well, there was a needle here yesterday. Ah, there we go. I'm going to take some black thread. And we are going to thread our needle. Boom, just as so. Gonna put a little knot in there. Yay. And then we are just going to whip stitch his incision on his side. Super easy, super quick, super no big deal. Right? Come here. This is a really awkward angle because I'm trying not to get my face in the camera. But I'm also trying to see with black thread on black fabric what the snot I'm doing. Not the easiest thing in the world, guys. Come here. There we go. Woo! Got overexcited. And there, oops, there we go. And now we're gonna tie this little bad boy off. Bat surgery. more squish, 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 squish. And there you guys go. There is Monsieur Buddy. Peace.